welcome to the morning roast.
Yo, we on the morning roast. Get a cup, sit down, stay a while.
Good morning. I know this is a little bit unconventional, and I'm not exactly sure if you can hear all the wind blowing, but my kids are playing on the beach. I'm on vacation, and I wanted to get this morning roast up because we have things to talk about. Hair is blowing in the wind, makeup non-existent. Feels like the best type of Sunday morning, doesn't it? So today I'm going to talk about how I turned down $60,000, which is a lot of money. It really is. But sometimes you have to turn things down as a content creator. And I'm going to get into who, what, where, when, why, how. Why would you do something so ridiculous? Okay, sorry about that. But truth be told, I was really scared that you weren't going to be able to hear me out there. I told my husband if he could just give me 20 minutes to talk to my homegirls, I will come right back. So here I am, indoors, in our villa, in Tulum, which I can't wait to show you this vlog, by the way. But back to what we were saying. I turned down $60,000. And why? Why would I do such a ridiculous thing? I know I have a smile on my face, but it wasn't really funny. It really wasn't. Let's rewind on content creation, something I love to talk about. Content creation in general, influencers, whatever you want to call us. How do we make money? And I think I have said this in several different vlogs on how we make money. Sorry, I can't stop playing with my hair. I look a mess. I'm trying to look a little bit presentable for you, just a little bit. But again, this is a FaceTime call, right? Okay, so how do we make money? A lot of us make money from affiliate links. So just linking my necklaces, my sunglasses. Certain brands do have affiliate percentages that they will give you. So what that means is if I linked out this necklace and you bought it, I would get a certain percentage. Some of them are high and probably would give you up to 18 to 20%. Not a lot of brands give you that much. Some brands like Etsy gives you 6%. So 6% on something that would probably $15 is not a lot of money. You would really have to push a lot of product in order to make serious money. And that's why you see some influencers or some content creators, call them more of like a shopping blogger, because they push a lot of product. They push a lot of product in their stories. They push product for you to click on. And even though that is probably product that they use and love or whatever the case may be, they're getting paid from those links. It's almost like a kickback, you know what I'm saying? It's, you know, your homegirl is recommending a mascara, some sort of sunscreen, whatever, and when she recommends it to you, she just so happens to get some sort of affiliate kickback. Now, I don't necessarily push product on people. I don't know why, it just makes me feel very uncomfortable. I like to give you things that I genuinely love, especially something that I would be willing to try, and especially sponsored content, like things like that. I will push links, but if you open up my Instagram or something, I'm not going to push product every single day. I don't know. It's not my thing. Even though I am a content creator, I just like to genuinely share things, and there's nothing wrong with it. I don't think there's absolutely anything wrong with it. Again, this is a marketing business, and when you do this job, this is what you have to think. Some people make money from, maybe they are selling calendars or they are selling master classes. There's so many different ways to kind of make money in this industry, depending on what it is that you are talking about. If I was to ever do a master class, yes, I'm going to sell it. So I would be selling downloads to a master class, etc. So that is one way that you can make money. For me, I make majority of my money from sponsorships. And I think that's where the big money comes in, because it depends on the brands, but the more mass market the brand is, their budgets are a little bit bigger. So let's rewind to how I turned down all this money. Now, as a content creator, I do feel that I have developed this audience, you guys, fam, bam. I have developed this audience over, let's see, I have been vlogging for how long? 6 years, 7 years, but I also got on Instagram almost 11 years ago. So this was not a fast come up. This was a very slow gain. It was a marathon. It wasn't a sprint. So the people that have been with me, you all know me, except for the Roni people. Hi, welcome. Hey girl, subscribe. You all know, like, you trust me, you understand like the things that I recommend, etc. So every now and then I will get a partnership, and even if I don't use it daily, sometimes I find things because of sponsorships. For example, the Tile app. So the Tile app is like, that you buy these little things and you put them on your keys or in your wallet. So when you lose it, you can go to the app in your phone and it alerts exactly where it is. God, that would be so good for a sponsorship right now, wouldn't it? But anyway, I didn't know about this until they came to me. And when they pitched me the concept, I was like, oh, this is totally cool. Like, I would use this. And now there is something called they have Life 360. So Life 360, you can track your kids. So I put it on London because she's of age now. And I found out London was taking the bus in the city to ballet because it alerted me that she was going 22 miles per hour. And I immediately called her and I'm like, girl, are you in an Uber or something? How fast? You can't be running. Like, where? She's like, oh, hey, mommy, my friend wanted to take the bus one stop to ballet, so I tried it with her. I hope that's okay. But the fact that I could track her and it was sending me all those alerts, I was like, this is cool. And I wouldn't have found that if the sponsorship hadn't come to me and pitched me. So sponsors who come and pitch me and want to work with me because our brand aligned makes total sense. So I think sometimes a lot of creators get slack because they do things like, this is not sponsored. Just because something is sponsored doesn't mean it's bad. It just needs to align with your brand and make sense, right? So for example, you wouldn't see me promoting a Happy Meal because I don't eat McDonald's. I don't allow my kids to eat McDonald's. I don't eat meat. There is it wouldn't make sense, right? So all of a sudden it's like McDonald's comes and then I'm like, hey, gotta get this Happy Meal. By the way, Rio asked me for a Happy Meal so he can just get the toy the other day. Kind of funny. So I think, again, brand partnerships just need to align. Just because a creator is doing a sponsorship doesn't mean that it's a bad thing and that the product doesn't work, okay? Because I like to take on products that do work or that I would at least try. Vitamins, food, clothing, all those things. It's like I need to at least know that I love it or that I would at least try it. So this is a bulk of my money is sponsorship. So that's why I try to choose things that would align with me. So that way when I promote it, you already know okay, if Sai has a stamp of approval, I'm gonna try it. So that leads us to the sponsorship that I got. I hope that makes sense because, sometimes a girl be rambling and I'm like, blah, 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 blah. I always underestimate that you know the jargon already because it's an Aussie thing. I feel like we're on FaceTime, but I always think that you know the jargon. And sometimes people are like, what? What are you saying? Okay, so there is a sponsor who came about. And I didn't know if I should be offended or if I was like, do I need this? I got a brand deal. We worked out a rate and the rate was $60,000. Now, mind you, some of my deals are kind of meaty like that. And I was just like, okay, so what are the deliverables? Usually with something like that, you have deliverables, and deliverables by that, I mean, where would they be posted? Is it a TikTok? Is it a reel? Is it a TikTok syndicated to a reel? Syndication means that you're going to take it and you're going to also put the same content, same video, and place it onto reels. That's a syndication, or back and forth. So if I did a video for reels, I would syndicate it to TikTok. And if the deliverables that they were paying for also said, can you please syndicate it to YouTube Shorts? That means that I would also place that same video on YouTube Shorts. So I don't remember what the deliverables are. We're not going to get into all that. But the brand was for me to get my lips done. Now, come on. I know I don't have lips. I'm aware. I am fully aware that I do not have big lips. And I'm okay with it, okay? I think even at this point of time in my life, my lips might even be receding because I am getting older. And getting older is okay. Do I like it? No, absolutely not. I'm gonna be young forever. Forever young, forever. And I also see my daughter who looks like my little twin when I was young, and I was like, Look at that youth, girl. Look at that youth. Just go. I think I had too much coffee because I'm like hot and fidgety and I'm like, where am I going through hot flashes after just talking about being old? Okay, so listen. Brand was like, we want you to get your lips done. They gave me a list of doctors to go through and, you know, pick the doctor, record my experience, record my testimonial, you know, why I decided to get it done, et cetera, et cetera. And this was the offer. And I was like, the offer is great. But the problem is, I don't get my lips done. I don't do filler in my lips. I'm not into it. I don't like it. So it feels very inauthentic for me to do something like that for the check. And I know a lot of you are like, bitch, you better get that check and get your lips done. But it feels like a very like sellout move. And I'm not saying I would never sell out. Don't get me wrong. Don't say I never say never. But this is something that I just don't believe in, right? So I just don't think it would be appropriate for me to push something in my lips that I just would not do. You understand what I'm saying? So even though the check was massive and a great amount of money, I had to actually turn it down because I just wouldn't normally do something like that. And I want to stay authentic to not only myself, but also all of you who have gotten to know me and trust me over the years, right? And don't get me wrong, yes, I've tried a few foods that I probably would never buy again. Okay, it happens. It happens. But something like the cosmetic procedure, I'm not going there. Or something that I'm like injecting into my body, something like that, I just don't feel that it is worth the money for me to do to myself. I would love to hear your thoughts on this because I feel like I made the right decision to pass up on that deal, but I would really love if you took a second to pause and just tell me what your thoughts are on this. Anyways, this is the reason why I turned it down. I just felt like this is not something I would ever do. And I would not want to pretend or fake it for social media or for the check because it's not cool at the end of the day. Like, it's just not. Like, I get it. Like, there's a lot of fakeness on the internet. And I don't want to take up that space, that corner. That's not for me. Here, I'm a hot mess. I'm transparent. I'm authentic. We're vibing over here. We're cool. You know, we're in like a rustic environment. Like, this is our vibe. So that is the story about how I turned down $60,000. Now, I do want to say I have turned down a lot of brand deals in 11 years. I think I got to the point where I was getting an influx of jobs, especially after COVID. After COVID, there was like a huge influx of jobs. And I did have to turn down things that I did feel would not be great for my brand. And then there were just things that I was just so busy, like the turnaround rates were crazy. That's another thing. Some brands will come to you and sometimes they'll pay like a rush fee, but people think like we're robots, you know, we're also human beings at the end of the day. And sometimes I would get brand deals like today and they would want content by tomorrow. And I'm like, but I'm on a family vacation. I still need to come up with a concept. I still need to find some time to shoot it. And then I have to edit it. Like all of these things come into play. And when you have sponsored content, it all needs to be approved. So, well, it depends. For most brands, if they super trust you, they'll let you do it. But most brands, they want some sort of approval. Because remember, you're doing marketing for a brand. You're being paid a marketing fee for a brand. So if I come out with some sort of video about these sunglasses, more than likely the sunglass company is going to want to say, okay, can I see the video? This is what we feel like you should maybe take out. Some of this should stay in. We want the name of the company mentioned within the first 3 seconds of your video, etc. So there is so much that goes into creating these ads. It's not just us taking these selfie photos and then completely posting them and then catching a check. Remember, at the end of the day, this is a business. Let's see, what else can I spill the tea on? Oh, I've gotten brand deals where someone would come pitch me the brand deal, we'll say yes, and then I do the content and they change the direction, completely change the direction. So it's like, again, let's go back to the glasses. we're doing content about the glasses, love the glasses. And then the glasses company would come in and be like, so we changed our minds. We don't want to promote those glasses anymore. Instead, we're going to hold off. And you're like, wait a minute. I just did my end of the bargain. And this is where contracts come in. Because you did your end of the bargain, you have to make sure your contract says exactly what you're doing, what they want you to do. And if they have some sort of editing, maybe they can edit once or twice, I would say, and then call it a day. And should they not hold their end of the bargain, you need to still get paid. So that has happened to me quite some time, where sometimes a brand is just like, I'm done here. Like, no, we're going to stop. We're going to hold this campaign. But they were like, we will release funds to you anyway, even though it never goes live. It's kind of messed up, but you did the job. So you're not held accountable for it, if that makes sense. Girl, I'm literally about to, I'm unwinding in here, so freaking hot. So anyway, this morning roast, I wanted it to be super chill. I wanted to show you how money comes in, money comes out. I will say the one thing about this job that can be stressful, it's sales. You're basically in sales. So you constantly are pitching yourself or going on meetings or networking, trying to do the most, because the brand and you have to sell yourself, especially with the fact that, and I've mentioned this before in past videos, but especially with the fact that there's so many new creators coming into the space, and I'm getting older. So sometimes, I hate to say it, but people are going to replace me. And it kind of sucks for the simple fact that you can't put everything onto Gen Z, especially luxury. You can't alienate an older audience, because that's the audience with a disposable income. Gen Z has no money, but I understand how they still want to appeal to the next generation. So I do think for luxury brands, you need to do a crossover of both and not completely alienate the older audience. But I will say there definitely, in 11 years, has been a huge shift, especially with TikTok coming into play. And this job can be very stressful. I know it looks super fun. You get to do so many different things, but the longevity of the job is really concerning and tough. So you have to pivot at all times. You need to constantly know what's next. You need to constantly watch videos, figure out what's happening on different platforms. Is blogging going to come back? Do you want to be on Substack? Should you be on YouTube? Should you be doing shorts, TikToks, Reels? Do you want to be on Pinterest? Like, at the end of the day, it is a lot, and there's only 24 hours in a day. Imagining like doing the concepts, going back and forth with emails, trying to stay afloat on top of comments, and shooting the content and editing the content. It takes a lot of time. And I think this is the side that really no one sees. Like, I'm on vacation right now and I'm talking to you, girl. My kids are playing on the beach. So, and then this is my YouTube channel. So with as much sponsored content that you do, you also need to have organic content, because people don't want to come to your page and only see sponsored content. Am I right? No, we want to have these kinds of conversations where we're just like hanging out and we're chilling and we're vibing. And like, this is why you love your favorite creator, because you're like, oh, she gets me. And every like maybe 5 to 8 posts, she has something that's sponsored. And you're like, cool, girl, I get it. You got to make money to give me free content. So that's just kind of a way to look at it. If you guys are interested, I'll definitely kind of talk more into this and even make this a series. Like, my entire team is all in-house. I used to have a manager outside, but after being around the block, if you know what I mean. No, you know what I mean. After being around the block as a creator, let me specify that, I decided that I wanted my team to be in-house, and that includes my brand manager who does all the pitching. She lives in a different state because she moved, but if she could even come in and give us some, give everyone some advice on like how she runs her job and those things, I think there is a need for agents that are in-house. Because a lot of the agencies, not a lot, but there are larger agencies that I would prefer not to be with. I think when you're with a larger agency, if your numbers aren't super high, like a Charlie D'Amelio or something, the smaller people can get lost. And it's just not my vibe. I need someone who's like working on me. you know, like I paid them. That's that. This is the Sunday roast. I spilled the tea on how I lost $60,000 and I would really love to have that money right now. Pay for my vacation, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna go, girl. I hope that you loved today's video. If you have any suggestions on what you would like to see next, you let me know. And leave it downstairs. Why do I always say downstairs? Leave it in the description. No, leave it in the comment box. I'm a mess. I gotta go. I'm gonna go hang out with my kids. Please subscribe to this channel. Follow me on Instagram. My name is Silva. If you like what you see, subscribe because I'm a vibe. I'm gonna see you guys next week. Deuces.